Hi everyone. I'm going to do 1-5, solving two-step equations. I have 4 teaching problems, that's it. Typically, students in Algebra 2 at this level are pretty good with their equations, so this shouldn't take too long, but equations are still so important at this level for Algebra 2 and for the SAT. So we're going to go through 4 teaching problems, and then you're going to get about 16 practice problems to work on. Okay? So first one's a basic two-step equation. This ultimately, everybody, is what you will get your equation down to. Something multiplied or divided by the variable, and then plus or minus another number. Okay? And the strategy is to work in reverse, almost reverse order of operations to balance this and get x by itself. So take away 4, take away 4. You're left with 2x over here, and that's going to equal 2. So there's that part. Divide both sides by 2. Get rid of this 2. Get rid of that. X equals 2 divided by 2. 2 equals 1. Often this is a whole number once this divided by this. Sometimes you'll get a decimal or a fraction on things. So, that's what you'll eventually get is whatever this division is right there. Alright, so the other kind that we have has a variable on both sides. And you've got to be good at collecting your like terms, which is what you did during the last class. Let's get our variables either x's on either side. It doesn't really matter. Let's take 8x away here. Cancel that. You now have negative 3x. Make sure you're good with your integers. Plus 7 equals negative 8. Hey, guess what? We're at a two-step equation. Everything else still applies. Same deal. So negative 3x equals negative 15. In this case, we'll divide both sides by negative 3. X equals negative 5, actually positive 5. Keep track of your negatives on that, so your answer is positive 5 for number 2. Alright? So that's the first two. I've got 2 that are a little more complex. You can try working on those while I write them down. So there's number 3. To solve this one, you have to distribute. You will get negative 4x minus 8 equals 16. Keep track of your minus. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. We know that from Algebra 1. Negative 2 times positive 4 is there. Hey, guess what? We're at a two-step equation. Negative 4x equals 24. Divide both sides by negative 4. X equals negative 6. Okay? So the interesting teaching point to this problem is that we distribute. And ultimately, in all of these, we get it to a two-step equation. And so that is why it is so critical to be able to solve that. One more, and we're done. Okay, number 4. So that's what we have for number 4. The teaching point involves a minus right before the parentheses. Okay, so when we have a minus sign right here, there's no number. Really, there's a number 1 right there. You could imagine distributing -1 multiplied to both. And that might be a good way to think about that. So the negative distributes to both. So we get -3x plus 4 equals 22. The negative distributes to this, the negative distributes to that, okay? And I know people think, well, it's a minus sign. Well, it is a minus sign, but it's joined here by multiplication. And that sometimes is a confusing part to math, okay? Oh my gosh, we have a 2-step equation. Take away 4, take away 4. -3x equals 18. Divide both sides by -3. X equals -6. And we are done. I made these pretty simple in terms of the math here. They always seem to work out, which I wanted to do. Most of the time they will work out. So now you've got right below these 4 teaching problems on your paper, you have 16 practice problems that involve all of these skills. Check your answers when you're done. Maybe you might want to check after every 1, 2, or 3 to make sure you're doing things right. Okay? And that'll get us through this hurdle in our course to make sure we're good on 2-step equations.